What's up, everybody? This is indeed the E-Man, chilling like a villain, singing like Bob Dylan, keep it on the low with some double stuff Oreos. And man, let me tell you something, man. You know, movies are my jam. I've said it on this podcast a million times. I love movies. Movies are my bread and butter. And man, you guys are in for a special treat today, man, because this actor slash producer slash philanthropist, man. He's been gracing the TV screens since 2005 on like One Tree Hill and Law and Order, you know what I'm saying? But he made his film debut in one of my favorite movies, which is Be Kind Rewind, which stars Jack Black, Mos Def, and Danny Glover, you know. But you might know him from this incredible movie back in 2009 starring Sandra Bullock called The Blindside, you know what I'm saying? And I got to tell you, man, this is an honor, man. And currently, you know, he's adding one more thing to his resume. He's a musician, and he has this beautiful song called Lead with Love. Lead with Love is a beautiful inspirational song. Kind of brings me back to, like, you know, I listened to Take Six growing up, and it kind of reminds me of that. So I'm honored, beyond honored, to have this man on the show, Mr. Quinton Aaron, and is in the house. Welcome to the Special Delivery Show, Quinton. How you doing today?
Thank you. I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. Sometimes I have trouble reading my own handwriting, but yeah, I've been listening to your song, man, and I love it, man. I love it,
I
absolutely.
appreciate you. Thank you,
Yes,
man. That's what's up.
yes, sir. So, how are things? I always ask everybody, how are things in your neck of the woods? How's the weather? How are things?
It's pretty good. My neck of the woods is pretty awesome. I'm out in Columbus, Georgia right now, where it actually just started storming out of nowhere. You know,
Yeah,
God's sorting some things out, so we indoors right now. But
yeah, that's
no, it's cool. I just got finished doing some radio interviews and everything, and we're gonna go get a bite soon. But
oh,
yeah, you know.
nice, nice. Before my sister and my family, we love the Blind Side. So if you don't mind, can you say hello to my sister Tatisha, my sister Jackie, and my brother Junior?
What's going on, guys? How y'all doing? It's very nice to meet you. Thank you for the love, and I appreciate the support. Yeah.
Appreciate that a lot, man. So let's start off with every hero has an origin story, and you were born in the Bronx, New York, and I'm
Yes.
always curious,
Yes.
you know. I'm a Jersey boy, so I was born in Jersey,
Okay.
and so like I always ask people like, what was your childhood like? What was your favorite cereal? You know, get on this nostalgia trip. You know, what was your childhood like?
Man, my childhood was pretty cool. I mean, aside from the being bullied at school a lot, it was pretty cool around the house. You know, raised by a single mom, me and my younger brother. Um, I had a very vivid imagination. Like when I was young, before I knew I wanted to be an actor, I thought I was gonna be Batman at one
Nice.
point. So yeah, so like I told my mom, Mom, when I get older, I gotta make $1 million because like Batman's gonna be too old and I'm gonna have to take over his job. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be the new crime fighter.
Right,
So,
right.
you know, yeah, I will make my own makeshift costumes and stuff, but like she ain't like the fact that I was running around the house with her stockings on my head, like her pantyhose on my head as the mask.
I
And
did that too.
you know, yeah, my tidy whities and my Batman bath towel tied around my neck. You know, it was just yeah, yeah. So
Dude.
that was my childhood. You know.
Dude, your childhood sounds like a lot like mine because like I grew up with the stockings on the head. Like one of my favorite books growing up was called The Fox and the Hound, and so like I would
Yeah,
put like a stocking on my head and kind of like have like two pieces of like I don't know whatever to hold it up to have fox
like
ears
the
and
toilet
like
paper rolls. Yeah.
yeah, the toilet paper rolls, whatever it took, and I was really
Hmm.
obsessed. I don't know, you're a little younger than me. There's a show called Fraggle Rock. I was obsessed with that show. And like
Oh
I've always
wow.
I always wanted to have like a tail. So look, I'm a movie lover and a movie goer, and let me tell you, man, when I interview actors, I always ask them like, what was the movie that truly knocked your socks off and convinced you that you wanted to be an actor? Because like for me, not necessarily to want to be an actor, but what really launched me as far as movies are concerned. Um, my love for movies was Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Like
Okay.
that was the movie that did it for me. So what movie did it for you?
Well, you know, it's funny. It's like I'm an '80s baby,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
as far back as I can remember, I had a love for all different kinds of movies. Like, um, I remember just from obviously like the Ninja Turtles.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
I think what was it? Once Bitten by Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wow. Yeah.
um, just one of the guys, stuff like that. The Breakfast Club,
Wow.
not Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
What was it?
For
The
the Breakfast
Breakfast
Club.
Club,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
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 I'm thinking about the radio show. I was in a movie. The Breakfast. Yeah. That man, I loved the movies of the '80s, like Karate Kid. Oh my
Oh,
God, like
absolutely. Yeah.
stuff like that. And then like I got into martial arts, so then everything became about action, like John Claude Van Damme,
Right.
Steven
Right.
Seagal, like some of my favorite like movie Rambo.
Of course.
And
Yeah.
so from driving my mom crazy around the house, like pretending to be some of these characters, to like finally getting in drama in school, and then starting to, act out certain characters on stage, and then getting the love from it from that perspective. It was definitely part of my, fuel for that passion to get into the arts and stuff like that. But I also started singing at an early age too. So like
Okay.
the music side came, I think, before the acting, because I started singing when I was 4. Like my mom would always play Whitney Houston,
Right.
the Eagles, Police. She had a big crush on Sting. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and Marvin Gaye, Luther Vandross, the oldies and everything. So she would play all of that stuff around the house, and I'd just be singing, and I didn't know I sound good, but she would tell me like, you can sing.
Yeah.
And so I started learning the songs, and I was singing when company came over. It was pretty cool.
That is cool. It's wow, so much to take in from what you said, but it's a perfect segue to my next question, which is like, most people don't know that you can sing, and you have this beautiful song called "Lead with Love," and what was the inspiration behind that song, and people to get from that song?
I think the inspiration behind it is, so throughout my life, I have always been, well, my mom used to call me a hopeless romantic. I'm a lover of love. You know what I mean? And I feel like this world needs a lot more of it. And so
Absolutely, yeah.
it's always been a passion of mine to get into music one day, just because I wanted to put out music. But then I was like, if I'm going to use my platform to delve into music finally, I want it to be meaningful. I want the songs that I sing to have an impact on the audiences that listen to it. And
Yeah.
what better way to do that than to, stick to what I stand for, which is love and promoting love and positivity into the world, and hopes to inspire and encourage, or, uh, you know, promote love. You know what I mean? So I,
Yeah.
I think people need someone to look up to that is doing the right thing, because there's so many examples of what not to do out there.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't believe in, being a follower unless it's of Jesus. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. For sure, man. We've been having as a country, what I'm saying,
Hmm.
especially from the Trump years, the 2020, we've gone through a lot as people, you know what I mean? And there's not a lot on the radio that promotes that, you know what I mean? They promote different other things, but they don't promote love, and so it's really nice to hear something positive, you know what I mean, on the airwaves, really, really good stuff, man.
Well,
So I'm kind of
yeah.
wait, what are you about to say?
Oh, no, no, no. I was just agreeing with you. Yeah.
Okay. So like I'm kind of like I'm gonna compress this question because I wanted to know like who were some of your musical influences, and you went through a few, Whitney Houston and Luther, but I wanna these are the kind of conversations me and my barber have. So I wanted to know, what are
Yeah.
your top three female singers, what are your top three male singers, top three
Oof.
female groups, and top three male groups.
Goodness gracious. That's a lot. That's a lot. Okay. All right. Top 3 female singers first.
Yeah.
Um, only alive or all time?
Alive, dead, yeah, all time.
Okay. Well, Whitney got to be in there. Whitney
Oh, of
Houston,
course.
definitely. Um, let's see. Yolanda Adams.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, who else? Who else can I say? Top three. Dang. Whitney, Yolanda. Uh,
Like Fantasia is one of
man,
my
it's
favorites, you know.
it's it's oh man, Fantasia's a bad girl.
Oh man.
Fantasia's a bad girl.
Shout
Actually,
out to Fantasia.
yeah. Big shout out to Fantasia. The craziness is like, um, I auditioned for American Idol the year that she won.
Really?
Yeah, yeah,
That was a big
2023.
year.
That was a big year. Yeah,
That
major
that
shout out to Fantasia. I actually had the privilege of meeting her years ago at R&B Live in LA. I sung Happy Birthday to the crowd and everything, and she came over and took my hand as I was coming down off the stage and everything, gave me a
what?
hug, and I was like, "Oh, God, go, you better go back to your seat before you get married around here, girl."
Man, she fine, bro. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. So
Ooh. Oh
I live in
yeah.
the Charlotte area,
And she
so
can
you know what I'm
sing.
saying? Yeah, man, she's bad,
Mm.
bro. When she sang Superwoman on like the Babyface tribute, man, bro. She
Oh yeah.
killed that joint, man. She
Oh
killed
yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Um,
man. Her, but you see, there's so many, like, because she's definitely in my tops. But so is like Beyonce and Jennifer Hudson. Tori Kelly is one of my,
oh yeah. Yeah,
oh my
she's
God, Tori
incredible.
Kelly. Yes, I've been a fan of hers since '09.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? I would watch videos of her on YouTube and like, because I used to like songs that I like to hear. I would love to watch other artists cover them
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just to see. And that's when I first witnessed Tori Kelly because she was doing some songs on YouTube with certain singers. Like this one dude, Jeremy Passion, they had a song they did together. It's called "Stop This Train" by John Mayer, and I
Okay.
love that song. But I
Yeah.
love their rendition of it, and then they even did songs like by Aaliyah and everything. So like, yeah,
Uh,
I'm a huge Tori Kelly fan. So all right, that's enough of the female artists.
all right.
Male artists, top three. God, Music Soul Child's definitely one.
Nice.
Uh, Luther Vandross, number two. The third one, let's see. It's you know what? I'm gonna go with Dwele.
Dwele? Okay.
Dwele.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool. Cool.
I love his style and what he does with his music. Like the type of songs he put out. He has that cool, smooth, jazzy voice, but then like
Yeah.
his orchestration with the music. I love his music. Like I've heard all his albums. I listen to all the stuff. Those are like my three, favorite artists as far as from vocals and to music that they put out. I mean, Luther is just like, come on, bro. you know.
Dude.
But there's so many on top of it, like much like the women, there's so many different artists that I listen to outside of them as well.
Right, right.
Like Raheem Devon, Marvin Gaye, Al Green, Stevie Wonder, Bilal. So it's like the
Bilal,
list
yeah. Oh
goes on. Eric
gosh.
Benet, Maxwell.
Oh,
You know what I
dude.
mean?
There's this
So,
song on the Fighting Temptation soundtrack with Beyonce and Bilal.
and
Dude,
yes,
I
everything I
love
do.
that. Yes,
I
isn't that a
love
great
that song.
soundtrack? That whole soundtrack is
That is
so good.
absolutely no
Yeah.
the notes. Like, all right, so my voice has kind of like gotten deeper over the years, but I used to be able to hit all of those notes on that song.
Are you serious?
I used to be
Wow.
able to hit all of his falsettos, all of his
Wow.
falsettos. I can't do
Nice.
it now. I ain't gonna
Dude, I love that movie. I love that soundtrack, man. Oh my gosh. Oh,
Absolutely. And
dude,
Beyonce, oh my God.
oh man. So female groups now.
Female
Female
groups,
groups.
okay.
Can I just give
Definitely.
you my few and maybe it'll inspire
Yeah.
you or whatever? All
Oh
right,
yeah.
so
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
my top three female groups are 702.
Okay.
Um, like of course you got to say Destiny's Child, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Destiny's Child, and because I know them on a personal tip, and because I think they're extremely underrated, shout out to my girls Allure. They've been on the short. They've been on the
Okay.
show twice. They're really really great, man. Like they have great harmonies, man, and they're really nice people too. So shout out to Allure.
Nice. Okay, okay. So Destiny's Child is definitely in my tops. Um I gotta go with my girls. I used to have the biggest crush. Me and my brother would fight over Chili for TLC.
Oh,
Oh my God.
she's dating
And
Matthew
then
Lawrence now.
you know what I mean? Like we would fight over Chili, and then I think I wound up saying, all right, well, if you got Chili, I got T-Rise. You
Right,
know what I mean?
right. Dude.
And so like, yeah, like I remember that was us growing up. I was like 12. But like yeah, so I said Destiny's Child, TLC, third group. Um what was oh my God. Well, I know it. Do-do-do-do-do. In Vogue.
Oh, In Vogue. Oh my
In
God,
Vogue. In
yeah.
Vogue. Yes.
Dude, I
In
might have to
Vogue.
change my
Yes.
list. Oh gosh. Because I interviewed Dawn from In Vogue. So shout out to Dawn Robinson. Yeah, In Vogue, man. They were all bad too.
Yeah.
All of
Oh
them
my
were bad.
God.
Bro,
Man, you couldn't pull me away from the TV when I was
bro,
watching videos and they popped up on it. Oh my God. Like,
bro.
yeah.
Dude,
Oh,
I even talking about when we talk about female solo singers, shout out to Brandy, man. I think, man, people forget how
oh
great
yes.
Brandy was, bro.
Brandy is the beat. And who me and my brother was just talking about. Shout outs to Lauren Hill.
Oh, for sure.
Lauren Hill. Oh my God. I don't, you know what? I might need to go back. Lauren Hill might need to be in my top three
Oh, for sure.
female vocalists. Like,
Jersey
yo,
in the
because
house,
I
bro.
said, you know, to me, Lauren Hill was the first artist that was dope as a vocalist and dope as a female MC.
Oh, for
Like
sure.
her bars, she was way ahead of her time, man. Like
Oh
way
God.
ahead of her time. Like she could sing like nobody's business. And and I fell in love with her in Sister Act too. You know
Bro.
what I mean? Her voice in
Dude,
there,
that
like, come
movie,
on.
bro. The oh God, we could talk about Sister Act too, and I mean, like the talent in that
Exactly.
movie is crazy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know,
Exactly. Like in that group that came out of there, City High, right?
City High, with
City
Ryan
High.
Toby and Claudette, and
Yeah.
like Tanya Blunt and Lauren Hill, Jennifer Love
Yeah.
Hewitt was in that movie.
Yeah. Exactly.
So many people, man.
So
Like,
many
dude,
people. My boy
um,
from Bronx Tale was in there. The main actor from Bronx Tale was in there.
oh
He was
word,
in the group. Yeah, the what's his name? Remember the kid, the tiny kid that he wanted to hang with the mobster and then he liked that black girl in the
yeah, yeah,
Bronx
yeah,
Tale.
yeah, with
Yeah, he was
Tyrell
one he
Hicks.
was he was in the choir in Sister Act 2.
Is that the same guy? I didn't know that. Because the
I
guy,
think it
the
was
guy
him.
you talking about
He
Frank,
was
hey,
he was trying to
hey, ho.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I
Wasn't
think
he
those
in
are two
there?
different actors because this guy's name, the guy that you're talking about from
Oh.
Bronx Tale, I forgot his name, but the guy in Sister Act, his name is Devin Kamen or something like that. And but I don't know if that's the same actor. I could be wrong.
The Italian kid?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
swear they
yeah.
look the same.
They do look
I
alike
you
though.
know what?
There's
They do look alike. You know what? I could be wrong. I gotta go back and fact check that. My
yeah.
bad if it's not. My bad if it's
Hey,
not. If you see
it's
this,
all
hey,
good.
my fault.
Yeah, but it's all
It's
good.
been
Yeah,
hey,
but
put it this way, it's
oh,
been years since I've seen that movie. I think last time I seen it, I was in high school and I graduated 20 years ago. So it's
wow,
been a
yeah.
minute. Yeah.
Dude, I never get to. It's like one of the few movies I actually own. But
That's
yeah,
what's up.
dude, let me. Okay, so, oh gosh, this is why I love interviewing people and I love doing the research because, I was prepared to talk to you about The Blind Side, but I did not know until doing my research that you were in, like, seriously, one of my favorite movies. I watch it at least once a month, which is called Be Kind, Rewind, with Mos Def
Bro,
and Jack
that's what's up.
Black. Dude, I can't even explain how much it always puts a smile on my face, especially, at a time where it seems like physical media is starting to become extinct. Seeing a movie like that
Mhm.
reminds me of going to the mom and pop's, video store, renting a
Video
movie.
stores, yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the excitement of, going in there, figuring out what the rent based off the cover art, and just the joy of watching movies, and just the small quest of going there, picking a movie, walking all the way back home, and then enjoying the movie, man. I just miss that so,
Exactly.
so, so much. And and you work with just a stellar cast, man. Sigourney Weaver's in the movie. Oh my God. So many
Yes.
people. What did you get from
Oh my
that?
God.
RJ Smith. RJ Smith is in it. He
RJ,
was in
yes.
The Journey
He's
of
in
Alan
he's in
Strange.
Journey of Alan Strange. He's
Yeah.
also currently on The Rookie.
Is he?
He's on The Rookie. He's with the black female detective.
Get okay. I need to watch that. I
Yeah,
haven't been
yeah.
watching that.
Oh yeah,
Oh my gosh.
I love that show. Yeah, he's on there. That's my boy.
Melanie
He was in The Day
Diaz.
After Tomorrow. Yes, Melanie
Wow.
Diaz.
From she was in
Um,
Fruitville Station. So many
it was
people.
so like that was my first set, ever being on for a film. And it was awesome because like I was only supposed to work one day, one scene. And
Really? Okay.
at lunchtime, so we did our scene, and it was the scene where we get out the car and we're trying to come in the shop, and they cut the lights off and try to act like they're not there. And we're like,
Right.
yo, we could see you, and so the dudes that I, the guys that I come into the shop with, that gang, that was my first time being seen with them, but they were, original cast of the movie. So they was in it throughout. And at that time they had already been filming for like a month, and they had like a month left of filming. So at
Okay.
lunchtime when we broke, I'm sitting in the corner, I got my plate, I'm eating, and then the director, Danny Glover, Jack Black, and Mos Def all come up and pull chairs up around me. And I'm
What?
like, oh, what's going on? Like I thought I was in trouble. And then they all sat down with me and was talking. They're like, "How you liking it? You liking this?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah." And I had such a great time. I'm like, I'm so happy to be here and to meet you guys. And they were like, "Well, the group that you was in the scene with, they are going to be filming for the rest of the shoot. They have like, a lot of days and stuff to do, and we were filming for like a month left. Would you like to be a part of that group?" I was like, yes, yeah, yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Wow.
And it was like, so like that, I got upgraded during lunch. And this was the first scene of my first time on set in a movie. And got upgraded to a character of the film. I got some lines. I became, SAG eligible off of
Nice.
that movie, you know what I mean? So, and after that, I joined the union and was like, yeah, that's how I know this is what I was meant to do. Not only because I wanted to be here someday and, always assumed that I would get there. It was just like the way it happened. It was like, oh, okay, like, yes. Because I was doing short films on, for NYU and doing the grind that way, trying to get my resume up and everything. But I was like, I
Mhm.
want to be doing movies. I don't want to make a career doing short films. I want to do big films. I want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
man, it was amazing. And
Dude.
everyone was just so cool. Like, talking about, I brought my brother to set. He met Mos Def because my brother's a rapper. And
Okay.
like just getting to meet him, that was so cool. And then Jack Black, like we grew up laughing with Jack Black. So I was a huge Danny Glover, not was, but am a huge Danny Glover fan.
Of course, yeah.
Lethal Weapon is just,
All four of them.
all four of them exactly, and hopefully five. Hopefully we still get a five. I know they were talking
Hey,
about it, but
yeah,
yeah,
dude,
that's gonna be funny to see how that goes. But yeah,
dude. Oh my gosh, dude. Uh, like what I love the most about that, there's a moment in that movie where it's like near the end, and like it's all about creation and using what you got to create something beautiful. You know what I mean? And there's this moment where
yeah,
you guys are all watching that movie that you created, and
hmm,
Jack Black looked like he's about to cry. It looks genuine, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's just so beautiful. It kind of reminds me like because a lot of it takes place in a junkyard, and they use these props to make these like sweeted movies, and it's just
exactly,
like you were talking about the power of your imagination to create something, and it touches people, man. It's just a beautiful, beautiful movie. I cannot recommend that movie
absolutely.
enough. I
I
cannot
wish
recommend it.
that, I wish that the movie got more exposure than it did. It's unfortunate that I think there was like some licensing issues, so it wasn't really able to. They weren't really able to promote it the way that it could have, and that's the only reason it flopped because that movie could have been huge,
Oh
but
yeah.
but nobody knew about it. I think the trailer came out on YouTube 2 weeks before the movie dropped, you know? And so
Yeah,
it was just like, if they had promoted it right and had the right amount of money in the marketing and advertising, that would have been a big, couple $100 million movie at best.
for
Because
sure.
it was fun, and like you said, it was a family film that everyone could love. Like that was the Blind Side before the Blind Side. You know what I mean? That was
Yeah, yeah.
literally that film that everyone could get behind and love and enjoy.
And it's so funny now. Like I feel like this is just my opinion. I feel like if it would have come out now under something like a studio like A24, because A24 has
Hmm.
been having a lot of success with Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I absolutely loved.
Yes.
I think it would have definitely had more of a had more of a pull and more of a more popularity, man, because man, that movie is
Yeah.
great. That movie is
Oh
freaking
yeah.
great. Watched a lot of your interviews, and a lot of people always ask you, what was it like to work with Sandra Bullock? I'm not going to ask you that because we all
Okay,
know
no
she's
more.
great, and but I want to
Hmm.
know like what will like because everybody focuses on that, but they forget like this movie is The Blind Side, has a stellar cast: Tim McGraw, freaking Kathy Bates, Lily Collins,
Hmm.
who a lot of people don't know is the daughter of Phil Collins, and now she's making her own way
Exactly.
with Lily in Paris. She's doing her thing, and
Yeah.
I
Emily in
feel
Paris. Yeah.
yeah, man. I mean, like, dude, what was it? What did you learn from that your Blind Side family to launch you to? What did you learn to launch you to be the person that you are today? What did you learn?
I think it was that opportunity that allowed me to come into my own, but it was just the relationships that were built during that journey, were so meaningful that you take things from it even 14 years ago to now. Just the heart and the professionalism and the comical spirit that Sandra Bullock brought to the set
Right.
was just, you know what I mean? It showed you the way to go. It showed you how to be. It showed you, she was so personable with people. She spoke to you. She, interacted with us during lunchtime. She would sit in the tent and have lunch with everybody.
Wow.
She allowed people to come up to her and talk to her, and she remembered people's names. And I was just like, you are so in awe of watching her and how she does her thing. And Tim McGraw is the same. Like he was so cool with everybody. He would come and talk to the fans and everything. He'd take pictures. Lily at the time, Lily was like 20. Um, Lily was, I think she was doing before the Blind Side. She was doing what do you call it when you have like the microphone, you like Disney broadcasting or something like that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
for Nickelodeon or Disney or something like that. And so she was just building her own status as well. But I love how her career is taking off and how she's, became this mega star as well, because she's super talented and a sweetheart. And,
Yeah.
and now she's married. Like she's all grown up. She was
Wow.
20. Now she's like in her mid 30s and married. I'm like, that's like, go, you go, girl.
For
Like
sure.
my little sister, all grown up. And then my boy Jay, that's me and him are still best of friends till today. He's
Nice.
he's back out west doing his thing and everything, and we hang out a lot over the years. We always get together on my birthday or whenever I come out to the west, we'll kick it and stuff. So we got some stuff in the pipeline as well, projects that I'm working on developing for he and I to do. I have a sitcom idea that I need a writer for, but it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be
Okay.
funny. So like, yeah, it's a lot of stuff, man.
What about Kathy Bates, man? What was
Oh
she like?
yes, Kathy was a sweetheart. She was so
Nice.
cool. So the first day she was coming to set, I was making a joke with everybody on set, and I was acting like I didn't know she was right behind me. And I was like, all right, guys, she's almost here. Just to be clear, so we recap this. There's no sledgehammers on set, right? There's no, yeah, y'all took it all away, and then I feel a pop on the back, and I turn around. Oh, Kathy, how you doing? She's like, I brought my own. I was like,
Uh, dude,
but
hey,
no, but
look,
she was fun.
the first time I watched Misery, I was like, whoa. She's
Exactly.
really, really intense in that movie, man.
Oh
Gosh.
yeah.
And I mean, I've never been an athlete, man. I've never been, a sports guy, but I've always had that person, that teacher, who's always like saw the potential in me to do great, and that's what Sandra Bullock's character reminds me of. As a matter of fact, I had a teacher who had kind of hair, that bleach blonde hair like that, who always inspired me to want to do better when you don't sometimes see the potential in yourself. So just shout out to my teachers, Mrs. Proctor, Mrs. Height, Mrs. Hennett, Mrs. Brown. Thank you for just being that person, being those guiding lights to guide me. And I was never a troublesome child. I'm just saying,
Absolutely.
just to see the potential and kind of believe in you sometimes when you don't believe in yourself. So yeah,
Mm.
and I'm leaving out a lot of people, but yeah, especially my siblings. Shout out to my brother Junior and my sisters Tatisha and Jackie and my nephews and my niece. Just thank you so much, especially lately because I've been
Yeah.
going through some health things, man, for sure. Um, I wanted to know, with the character that you played, Michael Ohar, um, I feel like there's some. I don't know. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like there's some similarities between you and that character. What did you have to pull from to make that character come to life?
Actually, my own personal experience. What a lot of people don't know is, people over the years they would meet me and say, "Oh my God, you're just like the movie," because I was playing myself. You know,
Nice.
I had never met Michael Orr. You know, I met him in 2013. This was after the movie. This was the year that he won the Super Bowl. That was the first time we met. When I
Wow.
met the director and everything, and we vibed and hit it off. When he actually told me I had the part, he said, "You're who I want to portray on film." He said, "I don't want you to meet Michael Orr now because Michael Orr now is not how he was at the time you'd be portraying him. And I
Right.
didn't want you to meet him and then try and act like him because it wouldn't come off the way we wanted to." He said, "You, who you are, that's who I want to show on film." So a lot of people love the movie because I was being myself, you know.
Yeah.
So shout
Nice.
out to Quinton Aaron for making Michael Orr look like the guy that everyone loves because I
Right.
was being myself and everyone fell in love with Michael Orr because of me.
Right on. Right on,
Honestly,
brother.
yeah, just to give it a little insight.
Yeah,
I know I've
man.
I know I've heard some not so good feedback over the years from you know the family, the real family, and what they
Yeah.
didn't like about the film. So yeah, hey, you live and you learn. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the highest grossing sports film of all time. So somebody somewhere did something right.
Yeah. Yeah. I
You
mean,
know,
gross like what, 300 at the time million, like globally?
yeah, 309 million worldwide.
Yeah.
About 255 million in the States.
Wow.
And it would have been more, but we didn't get to do an overseas tour. Um, it came out without a premiere overseas. There was a lot of things going on around that time, and the tour had to get canceled. But
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Now you have an amazing foundation called the Quinton Aaron Foundation, and I want to know, can you tell us more about it?
actually, it's not anymore. It's
Oh,
yeah, sorry, that was back in the day. I think it's been disbanded since 2016.
okay. All
Yeah,
right. But still, it was a good cause at the time, and it helped with you have a specific stance on bullying. I mean, do you care to
yeah.
share what your thoughts on bullying?
Yeah, I used to do motivational speaking and mainly to uplift kids who were going through being bullied in school because I was bullied all through my childhood. I was
Mm,
picked on, I was beat up, I was teased, I was chased home, I was, you name it, it happened to me. I couldn't get stuffed in lockers. I was too big. I couldn't fit in the lockers. But I got, thrown downstairs. I got spit on. I got, you know,
wow.
knocked in the trash cans. It was crazy. Um, and I didn't have a father figure to come to my aid or older brother. I was an older brother, and then going to school in areas where everyone were, their older brothers were gang members. So it's like
Wow.
I defend myself, then I got to deal with your gang. your gang member brother, like so I just rather just try to avoid it. I never really been one for drama and confrontation growing up, so I dealt with a
Me
lot
too.
of that, kids not liking me. And so I remember one time, um, I came home, I was feeling a little down, and I went in my room and sat down on the bed, and my mom came in. She was like, "What's the matter?" And I said, "How come nobody likes me?" And she said, "Well, let me ask you a question. Do you believe me when I say I love you?" I said, "Yes." She said, "And your the family, you believe they love you?" I said, "Yes." She said, "You got some friends?" I said, "Yeah." And she said, "You believe they like you?" I said, "Yeah." And then so she looks around and she goes, "Well, what do you mean when you say how come nobody likes you?" 'Cause I just pointed out several people that love you and like you. So what are you talking about? And I said, "Well, the kids at school." And she said, "Well, you weren't put here to make everybody on this planet like you. That's not
Yeah.
your job. That's not anybody's job. And you have to be okay with the ones that don't. You
Right.
can't go through your life worrying about who likes you and who don't, because you'll never get to where you need to be, and you'll lose who you are in the process."
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is that, I tell parents all the time, when you tell your kids things like that and you teach them, you may not think they'll get it at the time, but they do. They remember
Oh, for
everything.
sure.
And, my mom passed away 15 years ago now.
Mm. My
And
condolences.
her words, thank you, her words stay with me, so much so that every time I talk to people, I can't help but to talk about her. But because she was such a huge impact on my life, and the the life lessons that I learned from her is what is played a big part in shaping me and molding me into who I became today. And that's the reason why I have the heart that I have, and the desire to help and to spread message through music now, with songs like "Lead with Love" and more to come.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. Like, man, my mom passed away back in 2010. And like
Mm,
you said, there's some certain things that, your mom's, plant into you, and you don't necessarily get at the time until later on when you really, really need it. And
exactly.
I like, and my mom, I remember my mom told me, she was like, she says you're special, and at the time I was like, you're just saying that because I'm your son, but I appreciate it. She's like, but now I understand, it's like, we're all special, but we have to tap
Hmm.
into that, but we have to believe it too. You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
we have to use our gifts, to and spread them out. You know what I mean? And that's what we're here
Yeah.
for. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, we're not here to make everybody like us. That's not the is not the
That's not
goal.
the yeah. Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, I believe
Jesus
in that,
couldn't
man.
make everybody like him, you know.
Yeah,
We're to be more like him. We have to understand, we you put here for a little time, you know,
oh, for sure.
and in that time, it matters what you do here, and
Yeah,
I want to be remembered for being who I am, you know what I mean, and making a difference and making a change. So my purpose here on earth is to do God's work, however He
yeah,
sees fit for me to do it,
absolutely,
you know.
man. It's beautiful, man. You're absolutely right. How can your fans reach you?
Oh man, you could actually go to my website at quintonaaronmusic.com, and on there you have all the links to my social media pages and uh, any updates of what's to come. You got the links to download the song, and yeah, you can see some tour dates that we have coming up in August. We're going to be doing a tour up the East Coast, and all of that information is on the website. So again, that's quintonaaronmusic.com.
Excellent, man. But listen, I want to say thank you. This whole podcast, it's called a special delivery show for a few reasons, but I call it a special delivery show because I feel like giving a person their flowers is important, especially while they're still here. I want to say thank you for, your time today. Thank you for making two movies that I absolutely love,
Thank you.
especially Be Kind Rewind. Oh my gosh. And
That's what's up.
just thank you, continue to thank you for being a positive light, man. You know what I'm saying? We need more of that. and continue to
Thank you.
sing
Thank you.
and continue to make amazing music. And thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. You
It's been a
too, bro.
pleasure. Yes,
You
sir.
too. You too. God bless.